This week on Outdoor Bound TV, we travel to Trempealeau County, Wisconsin, where we spotlight the 22nd Annual Kids Fishing Tournament sponsored by the Elk Rod and Gun Club on beautiful Bugle Lake in downtown Independence. And later, we learn firsthand how the Department of Natural Resources, Trout Unlimited, and the Elk Rod and Gun Club have joined forces to spearhead some stream bank restoration projects throughout Trempealeau County.
Will you look at that? That's what we talk about right here. He's right there. I'm not even tired yet.
That is sweet.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Real Deal Mineral. Deer, eat it gone. Colby Chrysler Center. Welcome home to Colby Chrysler. Pro Designs. Sign and printing solutions. Canada Outdoor Adventures. The adventure of a lifetime.
Hi everyone, welcome to Outdoor Bound TV. I'm your host, Kurt Walbeck. On this week's show, we head to Trempealeau County. Now, the Elk Rod and Gun Club of Independence has been putting on a kids fishing tournament every Mother's Day weekend for the last 22 years. Now let's head down and catch some of this action on beautiful Bugle Lake in downtown Independence right now.
Hello there. My name is Adi Becker and I'm lucky enough to be the MC today for the Independence Elk Rod and Gun Club Kids Fishing Contest held here today in Independence, Wisconsin. Now, the contest has been going on for 23 years to keep kids interested in fishing. We're always trying to get the young generation interested in outdoor recreation rather than sitting inside the house with their thumbs busy all the time.
Hi, I'm Bob Petrick from Independence, Wisconsin, past president of the Elk Rod and Gun Club here in Independence. It's our 22nd annual fishing contest that was started about 1990 by a gentleman named Jim Giebel, Al Sukla, and the late Ivan Stendal. Our event here is held in Independence, Wisconsin on Bugle Lake. The city park is right on the banks of Bugle Lake. And we normally have between 200 and 300 kids. And today I think they come out in full force. Our event starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's normally 2 hours long. And usually by 11 o'clock, we've got hot dogs ready, pop ready, prizes organized and stuff like that.
We have generations coming to this. We have people who come to this with their kids, and it's funny, every year we have this. One guy says, I won my first bike here. And now, 2 years ago, we had one guy, his son won his first bike here. And we have people come up to us, I got my first TV here. And they bring their kids back because it's such a good contest. And we're lucky today, we got a great weather. We've got a great turnout here. I think Rudy's told me the hot dogs are almost ready to go. And oh, it's almost 11 o'clock, so we're gonna have to take off here. So I have to say, get ready to fish, people. We're going.
Got one, huh? Get away.
And we've got two age groups, from 0 to 3rd grade and from 3rd to 8th grade. And after these kids are signed up, they're out there fishing, and then when the contest starts, they get a chance to go out and fish with mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles.
And if you get a kid interested in fishing, he'll say, Dad, let's go fishing, or Mom, let's go fishing. It gets the whole family involved, then the parents go fishing, and it's a family outing.
We've got usually some kids around that are part of the ecology club in town here that will help the kid put a worm on, or just be a mentor to a kid. It's one of the things that had happened through the years that these kids had somebody else help them.
Every kid who comes here gets a prize, and the kids get a big kick out of that. They love having their name announced over the PA system.
Asher Nelson, age 13. Asher Nelson, age 13. You are a winner.
So not only do they have to concentrate on eating hot dogs, but they also have to listen for their name called.
Bruce Bryce Ruska, 7. Bruce Bryce Ruska, 7 is the winner.
So when they hear their name called, they run up into the old fire station here and they pick up their prize.
This whole event is possible through some of the monies that the Rod and Gun Club generates through other activities throughout the year that they do. We put a huge fishing contest on. It's always the first Saturday in February, so if you're out there and you want to come to a great contest, come on out. We do put on a fundraiser dinner. Most of the profits from that come to buying all the prizes for this. It's a good way to make people want to buy a ticket for one event because it helps in another event.
Our annual fishing contest here for kids is put on mainly by the Elk Rod and Gun Club themselves. We get some help from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Whitetails Unlimited, the Mule Deer Foundation, Wild Turkey Federation. A lot of these organizations feel that when you can get 300-400 kids together at one time, all conservation is good for one thing or another. As you can see today, there's a lot of kids wearing a set of antlers on their heads.
And then we have businesses in town who donate generously with multiple, huge amounts of prizes. The meat market in town donates all the hot dogs so the kids can eat hot dogs all day long. Last year, I think we went through 600 hot dogs.
And there's nothing better to see than a kid with a smiling face with no teeth in there and ketchup running down his chin. One of the reasons we decided to have a Mother's Day weekend is we had a lot of gentlemen that their kids would come home for Mother's Day and Grandpa take the kids fishing. When this was first started, we had a lot of dads in that used to fish years ago, and they said, Bob, what are you guys doing? He says, now I got to dig my fish pole out. You know I ain't fished in years, and my kid is just bugging me to go fishing. So we'll take them fishing, and I know what it's going to be. But that same guy'd come to me on Tuesday and Wednesday after we had that and said, thank you. If I don't get to fish with my kid but once a year, that's all it takes. He says it brings back the kid in everybody.
DJ Conto, age 10, you have just won a prize. We have a prize for Danielle Mayhew.
What'd you catch?
It must be a catfish, and I don't know, or a bowhead. I think it's a catfish bowhead.
Before we have the kids draw for prizes, we have them police the grounds a little bit and make sure that the garbage is picked up and leave the place just as clean as when we got here, if not cleaner. Well, then 1 o'clock comes, everybody gathers around the fire station. After that, we usually draw for 30 prizes that are fish prizes. Doesn't matter what size you fish, every kid that catches a fish, his name goes in the hat. So if you catch a 2-inch fish or a 2-foot fish, you got the same chance as anybody else. Then we draw for 30 attendance prizes where all the kids' names in the hat go for general attendance prizes. This year we were fortunate enough to have one super prize that the Wild Turkey Federation gave away, and that was a season pass to the Whitehall swimming pool. Our goal is usually to make sure that every kid has a chance to learn how to fish. He gets a chance to win a prize, go home with a smile on his face, and a belly full of hot dogs and pop. I appreciate what conservation has done with the area kids now, because if you don't get the kids involved, you don't have a future generation.
Real Deal Mineral. Deer eat it gone.
Real Deal Mineral is the real deal. Other minerals on the market contain up to 70% salt. Real Deal has less than 7% salt and more of the minerals deer need to grow bigger horns. And bigger horns mean bigger trophies.
I tried Real Deal Mineral for the first time, and I had over 1,000 pictures on my trail cameras in less than a week.
Real Deal Mineral. Check out our website or a dealer near you.
At Colby Chrysler Center, we know that buying a new car is a big deal, so we do our best to make it feel right at home. Whether for work or play, a new vehicle is really an extension of you. Let us help find you the right vehicle without the gimmicks or the hassles.
Adventure can be found at Colby Chrysler with a new lineup of Jeeps ready to hit the road or the trail.
Our commitment to you doesn't end with the sale. We are here for you anytime you need us.
At Colby Chrysler, it's all about making you feel at home and ready to hit the road.
Welcome home to Colby Chrysler.
conceptual design, quality printing, and custom applications. Pro Design's sign and printing solutions. Over 20 years of professional service and experience. Pro Designs in Medford, from original concept to finished product. Get the recognition your business deserves. Pro Designs, sign and printing solutions. Offering professionally guided, all-inclusive packages, Canada Outdoor Adventures is a U.S.-based company specializing in great hunting adventures in Alberta, British Columbia, New Zealand, and beyond. Whether you're seeking that trophy of a lifetime, planning a hunt for you or your group, or taking your son or daughter on their first adventure, let Canada Outdoor Adventures handle all the details for you. To contact a pro staff member near you, visit our website. Canada Outdoor Adventures, the adventure of a lifetime.
Hey everyone, we love to see the photos of the animals you harvest and the fish you catch here on Outdoor Bound TV. Well, this season, Petrick Service Station of Independence has teamed up with ESPM Apparel to bring you some great prizes just for submitting your photos to the show.
Simply log on to the Outdoor Bound TV website, click on the Submit Photo button, and all the instructions and contest rules are right there. All photos submitted will automatically be entered into the grand prize drawing. A Remington Model 700-270 rifle, compliments of Petrick's Service Station. Anyone selected for the show will receive an Outdoor Bound TV t-shirt, compliments of ESPM Apparel. All entries must be received by December 1st to qualify.
And remember, you can't win if you don't submit your photo. Now, as you can see, the Elk Rod and Gun Club has been extremely successful getting kids involved in the great sport of fishing here in Wisconsin. Now, that's not all they've been working on. The Elk Rod and Gun, along with Wisconsin DNR, have partnered for another important project, stream bank restoration of our area trout streams. Chapter President Bob Petrick takes us on a tour of one of the projects currently underway.
This stream here is in the early stage of a trout stream restoration project. This is the Forest Valley stream, which flows into the Elk Creek, which flows into Bugle Lake. After the ledges and structures are put in, then the next step is to start riprapping after the banks have been sloped back. And that this will be riprapped on the sharp corners and stuff. It'll be riprapped up to about a 10% grade. And that to hold back the banks in case of floods and that. This area wasn't too fortunate 2 years ago. We had 200-year floods within a 2-month time period here, and the water levels were quite high. But it's a public easement, so this will be open to public fishing after this project will be done. So basically there's 3 major partners in this. Is the Elk Rod and Gun Club, Wisconsin DNR, and that money comes out of trout stamp money. So every time you buy a trout stamp, a certain percentage goes to trout stream restoration. This will be ready to go by fall, and I would actually see people in here fishing yet this fall and having pretty good luck. When the people were in here yesterday, our ecology club from Independence that did a lot of this work, one of the gentlemen had said that they shocked this right away just to show the kids that there were fish in here, and they shocked some 14, 15-inch brook trout out of this stream already, and those fish weren't planted. This is from years of production and reproduction.
This is something that the Elk Rod and Gun Club and many of the organizations around Wisconsin are doing to help conservation, and specifically conservation to our trout streams here in this great state.
We do a lot of stream bank improvement. We have our own trout ponds that we pay for, and then we take the trout at certain times of the year and put it in all the streams. We're lucky enough around here, we have a lot of valleys with a lot of trout streams in them, and we keep them well stocked. We also support a lot of the other organizations. We work sometimes with the DNR, a lot of times with the stream bank restoration, because when you partner like that, you can get a lot more done, and it works out really well. And the DNR has always been outstanding helping us with that.
My name is Dan Hatley. I'm the fisheries biologist with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources out of the Black River Falls field office. We're here today in Independence, Wisconsin on Bugle Lake. The Department of Natural Resources is providing some of the prizes for the kids here today, sort of in conjunction with angler education, teaching kids how to fish. And it basically starts right here. It starts with the kids. You know, when I grew up, I loved to hunt and fish. You know, that was part of my family tradition. My dad, my mom, and my uncles, and my grandfather and grandmother were very instrumental in getting me going and getting me interested in those things. And I think, you know, and it's, for me personally, it's gone to the extent where now I've chosen it as a profession. I'm a fisheries biologist or a fisheries manager. We take care of the inland fishing resources for 4 counties, which include Buffalo County, Trempealeau County, Jackson County, and Clark County. Bugle Lake is one of our project areas in that the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources stocks fish, predominantly trout, in the lake for people to catch. It's like a put and take fishery. Now, the main Elk Creek is what feeds Bugle Lake. It's an impoundment. And the upper Elk Creek is stocked with fish that come from the cooperative fish rearing facility that the people with Elk Rod and Gun Club operate with the Brogger family and the Back family. They've got brown trout that they raise, and they've got wild brook trout that they raise. And those fish, they get them from the Department of Natural Resources, they bring them in, they put them into these local hatcheries, they pay for the food, they pay for the maintenance, and then we have one of our staff in Black River Falls, Dave Schmidt. He kind of takes care of the co-ops, and he comes around, he delivers the fish to the co-ops, he checks on them periodically, and then he'll go in and he'll help them stock. And they'll also bring the kids out when they stock these fish in the streams. Well, the co-op rearing program with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is incredibly important. In our particular hatcheries with the Department of Natural Resources, we've had to cut back on the number of fish that we can stock into our local water bodies. So when you have an organization like this that's willing to raise these fish, and they've been doing it for a lot of years, they've been doing it for a long, long time, it helps to bolster the production of these fish and provide more fishing opportunities for people in their local streams and in their local lakes. It really helps, especially when budgets get tight, to have these partners to work with us to raise these fish so that we have something to put into our streams and to, you know, that are incorporated into our management practices for these streams. Elk Rod and Gun Club has been instrumental in helping our program in Black River Falls to gain fishing easements on local streams, which guarantees public access for trout fishing. They've been instrumental in helping us procure funding through their club and through NRCS to combine with our trout stamp money to help restore and improve habitat in their local streams. They've helped us buy specific kinds of equipment that we use to do these projects in these streams. And in this cooperative effort, we have the government and we have private entities that come together for the benefit of the resources and ultimately the benefit of the anglers. I mean, this is a fairly small community that you have here, and their ability to mobilize and to generate funds and to come out and help and go around and talk to the landowners and foster a better relationship between the landowners and the department and the club and the anglers, it's just a win-win situation all the way around.
Elk Rod and Gun Club has 2 rearing ponds that we are in cooperation with the state of Wisconsin that we raise in the neighborhood of about 12,000 fish for annual release in our neighboring streams and that for this watershed program here. Also, we are heavy into trout stream restoration now and trying to control erosion by putting in trout structures, rip-wrapping stream banks, putting buffer strips in with a lot of grassy areas and removing a lot of trees along the banks and seeding them in with grass so that the water kind of slows down and it filters before it hits the area streams. This watershed, what we're looking at right here, is 72,000 acres. So that's a lot of water that this pond in town here is holding back. The people that do trout fish says trout fishing in this area has gotten better than it has been in the last 20 years. And we never had the amount of beavers and otters that are in the streams right now, and they need clean water in order to exist. Right now we've had up in the neighborhood of around 700 acres that we own and maintain for hunting and fishing. We're doing our share of giving a place for people to hunt and fish and take their kids. But if you don't take the time to take your kid fishing and hunting, it's just gonna go to waste in that. Our Elk Rod and Gun Club here in Independence has been in existence for over 100 years. Years ago, they started stocking the area streams with trout, and I understand through past history that these trout used to come in on the railroad in cream cans. And the gentlemen that used to plant them back then used to be the mail carriers. The mail carrier would take them in their car and then they drop them off in the area streams. So we've had an early involvement with trout stream and trout planting.
All that stream bank improvement that we do stops all the sediment from coming down through the creeks, through our lake, down to the Trempealeau, and then down to the Mississippi, and then it costs the government to dredge it out there. This lake is fed by 75,000 acre watershed. And if we are losing our capacity to retain water, which we kind of work with the other communities. We work with Blair, Pigeon, and Arcadia, and we work together when we have heavy rains, and we want to work with them where we let our water out, then we hold our water back, and then they let their water out, so Arcadia and the subsequent cities down the Trempealeau don't get flooded out so bad. We need events like this, and to keep events like this going, we need this lake.
You know, this is just something that people do. It's part of their tradition, it's part of their heritage. Again, it's what we do in this state. You know, and when the government, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, can come together with local people, with local clubs like Elk Rod and Gun Club, that's really what makes it all worthwhile. It's a great way for the government and for the public to come together for the ultimate good of the resource, and with the kids, the future of the resource.
Folks, join us again here next week when we'll bring you more great hunting and fishing action from around Wisconsin, around the nation, and around the world, right here on Outdoor Bound TV.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Real Deal Mineral. Deer, eat it gone. Colby Chrysler Center. Welcome home to Colby Chrysler. Pro Designs. Sign and printing solutions. Canada Outdoor Adventures. The adventure of a lifetime.
Let me know when you're ready. I'll call it Kids Fishing Day.
Say that again.
Clowny. Okay. Maybe that's a little too verbose.
One more thing I want to say too.
I just start over and be a little bit more concise, maybe. I kind of lost my train of thought there.
Oh, you want to just kind of end it here? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.